And our first order of business on the regular agenda is discuss and act on a resolution approving an economic incentive package related to Project Orange Fire, a project under the North American Industry Classification System, 332996, fabricated pipe and pipe fitting manufacturing. Said package to include economic incentives previously approved by the Paris Economic Development Corporation in the amount of $1,283,000, including land and forgivable loans and a tax abatement by the City of Paris. Mr. Paris, let's take over here.
Good evening, City Council. How's everybody doing tonight?
Right.
Good. Glad to be here tonight. Mayor, City Council, it's an honor to be here to talk to you tonight about a project we've been working on for quite a few months now. And before we get started with the presentation of this group that's here in town today, I just want to first and foremost thank you, the City Council, the Paris Economic Development Corporation Board, the county commissioners of Lamar County, and the city staff, especially the city manager and the city engineer, being a part of this process, working as a group and working as a team and trying to win over a commitment from this company. So I'm excited to say today that they are here. Looks like we have become a finalist, and we're going to begin the process of explaining exactly what this incentive package is for and have them introduce themselves for you in that process. The company itself, American Cast Iron Pipe Company, founded in Birmingham, Alabama in 1905, is a manufacturer of ductile iron pipe, spiral welded steel pipe, fire hydrants and valves for the waterworks industry, and electric resistance weld steel pipe for the oil and gas industry. American's diversified product line also includes strategic castings and high-performance fire pumps. As a division of American Cast Iron Company, American Spiral Weld Pipe Company, LLC, designs, manufactures, and markets spiral welded steel pipe for water, wastewater, hydropower, and industrial applications. The company offers iron and steel pipe and piping products, including joints, fittings, linings, and coatings. It offers its products through its sales force. The company was founded in 1999 and is based in Columbia, South Carolina, with sales offices in multiple locations across the country. I'd like to introduce you to three guests that we have tonight, if they could come on up, please. I have Mr. Patrick Hook, who is the Vice President of American Spiral Weld Pipe. The incentives that we're looking for tonight are specifically for the division American Spiral Weld Pipe Company. I also have here today Mr. Mike O'Brien, who is Vice President of American Cast Iron, and then I do have also Mr. Ian Willoughby, who is Manager of Sales for American Cast Iron. If you don't mind, I'm going to turn this over to these fine gentlemen and let them begin the process of continuing to introduce this company to this group. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And first of all, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council, again, I'm Patrick Hook. I'm Vice President of American Spiral Weld, and both Ian and I will be telling you a little bit more about our company and this project. But we'd just like to say thank you for the consideration, and certainly this has been a difficult process for us, especially now that we've got it down to a couple of different sites. Making that final decision is very difficult. But Paris has certainly done itself proud in the hospitality they've shown us, and Michael and the rest of the Economic Development Group has really done a super job of making us feel welcome and certainly laying out a project plan that can work for American, should this be the final selection. So we appreciate that. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. So we thought we would walk you through a little bit about the company history. Culture is very, very important to us, and I hope that comes through with our presentation. Ian is going to walk you through in a little more detail. Michael mentioned the different portfolio companies within American. Ian will walk you through those in a little bit more detail. I'm going to talk about American Spiral Weld Pipe itself, and then just a couple of slides that we have to talk about actual Plant 3 and what we're here to really talk about. So the company history, And I feel very fortunate to be able to even talk about the American history, as it's so unique, and it's difficult in the short period of time that we have to tell you the whole story. But I'm going to try to give you a brief snapshot of the company. I came to American in 2013 after working for many more years than I care to say in the steel industry. And I really came to this company because of its reputation, not only for its products, but because of the kind of company it is and the way it treats its employees. So it truly is an amazing story. The story really begins with John Egan. John Egan, 112 years ago, again, a young businessman, sat poised for just the right kind of investment. And he was very careful in how he made that investment. He was a man of devout faith, sought a business venture that would be a tribute to God while providing a needed, life-sustaining service to people around the world. John was born in 1870 and he died in 1924 from tuberculosis. Over 54 short years on this earth, however, he made a tremendous impact, far more than I can share in the short amount of time today. His legacy continues on today through us, and in my opinion, he was the ultimate servant leader in what he did in leading an industry forward. All new hires at American go through an extensive training, what we refer to as the Egan Legacy Training. I've pulled just a few of those slides out to try to give you an example of our culture and the type of man that John Egan was. Think about the time this company was started 112 years ago. Industrialization boomed. Many people were migrating from the farms into the cities to take up factory jobs. And as we all know from history, conditions were very, very poor. Workers were treated poor. Relations between workers and management were poor. And John Egan really looked to do it a different way. He believed very strongly in the golden rule. It's a universally known and accepted principle, and it is our one true guiding principle that we live by today. So the business, American Cast Iron Pipe Company, headquartered in Birmingham, Alabama, began with one product line, cast iron water pipe. As necessary then it is now to sustain life and protect public health. This is one of my favorite slides from the training. Again, think back to this period of time and how workers were being treated. John Egan knew that it could be different. This was a bathhouse that was created, and I love the story that at the end of the day, and again, this is a ductile iron pipe plant, very hot, very dirty. He wanted a place where his workers could wash up at the end of the day, so when they went home, they would be huggable to their family members as they walked through that front gate. Mr. Egan lived in Atlanta and commuted to Birmingham, Alabama every week, lived in an apartment in downtown Birmingham. And he typically walked to and from work every day, which is about 2.5 miles one way. He did so partly because he wanted to be able to stop off at the homes of the employees that were working in his factory. He wanted to be assured himself that they were making a wage sufficient to have a happy home and home life for their family. Again, in the early 1900s, he put forth benefits that are commonplace now, but they weren't back then. Paying sick leave, overtime, bonuses, retirement. Again, things that we take for granted today, not so, they were very unusual back then. He was even sharply criticized at times by the social elite for the way that he treated his employees and the benefits that he gave them. This is one of my favorite recruiting posters, and I'm going to go ahead and just read from it because it really speaks to American and the culture. But the American Cast Iron Pipe Company, manufacturers of cast iron pipe and fittings, and men. The American Cast Iron Pipe Company believes that Character is essential in business as well as in individuals. Education without a Christian character basis is of little value. The American Cast Iron Pipe Company believes that industry should put service before profit. The product of industry must be honest. Industry must concern itself with the welfare of every man connected with it. Industry must concern itself with the welfare of the community in which it does business. And this company needs and welcomes to its organization young men of such ideals. So while we believe in the golden rule, and that is our one true core value, the success was really given to the success of the Egan plan. And this was John Egan's plan. So as long as our pipe lasts, we shall be helping men, women, and children to live. God has given us the brain, the muscle, and the iron ore, and the power in electricity and coal. We use them all to the greatest number at the smallest cost, the pipe which people must have. This is where it gets really unusual. Mr. Egan, again, died in 1924. Prior to his death, he set up in his will that essentially the company would be given to the employees. At that point in time, in the state of Georgia, it was not legal to bequeath that much wealth to anyone other than a family member. His wife had to go to court after he passed in order to ensure that his will was carried out. We operate today according to that trust and according to the guidelines that he established. He really was a visionary in the way he went about that. We operate with a typical board of directors, but then there's a board of management, of which you met Mike O'Brien, he sits on that board, and then a board of operatives. In the Birmingham plant, there are 9 districts within the plant, and they elect from the shop floor 12 employees. That 12 employees makes up the board of operatives. From that board, 2 of those sit on the board of directors. Again, think of the timing when this was all put in place. Almost unheard of. Quick glimpse, but I hope it gives you a snapshot into the type of culture that American is very proud to have.
Thank you very much. As Pat had said, my name is Ian Willoughby. I manage the sales for American Spiral Weld Pipe. I've been an employee for 22 years at American, and you've given us a great welcome, but I didn't expect to get backflips when we got here, so I want to thank you for that. On the board are some of the key dates at American Cast Iron Pipe, founded in 1905. Through the years, we've made a number of acquisitions and grown our business. The companies, American Cast Iron Pipe Company is the parent company, and there are wholly owned subsidiaries under that umbrella, one of which is American Castings in Pryor Creek, Oklahoma, manufactures specialty castings for heavy equipment, the waterworks industry. American Spiral Weld Pipe, which we will talk more about and Pat and I will cover. American Valves and Hydrants in Beaumont, Texas, as the name would speak for itself. A company in Brazil, which makes specialty castings as well. Specification Rubber Products in Alabaster, Alabama, which is a suburb of Birmingham, manufactures some gaskets, and then Waterous Companies manufactures fire hydrants, fire pumps, as well as some valves. When we talk about our core businesses, American Cast Iron Pipe, although it started out as a cast iron pipe company, it evolved into ductile iron pipe. And we produce ductile iron pipe in Birmingham, Alabama, manufacture it in diameters from 4-inch up through 64-inch in diameter, as well as the fittings that complement it. American Steel Pipe is our steel pipe division that's also located in Birmingham, Alabama, manages steel pipe up to 24-inch in diameter for the gas and petroleum industry, very high pressure, long distances, and that's all manufactured on one property in Birmingham. We have approximately 2,000 acres where we manufacture in Birmingham. In total, nationwide, approximately 2,400 employees, to give you some ideas to the number of employees we have. American Flow Control is the division that manufactures the fire hydrants and valves, and this is a large diameter valve that you see that we produce, as well as some of the cores that help make some of the castings in Pryor Creek, Oklahoma. And you can see a listing of the companies that manufacture products in that marketplace for us. And last but not least, American Spiral Weld Pipe. It's the newest subsidiary to the company, formed in 1999 in Columbia, South Carolina. It was a natural progression for our business because you had a lot of the same owners, engineers, customers that the ductile iron product had. So it was natural growth of the product line, as well as it took advantage of our knowledge in the steel pipe industry with American Steel Pipe. And that's a picture of a 60-inch pipe for a large project that we had on the left there. We'll let Pat cover some American Spiral Weld generically.
Just to give you a bit of an idea of what Spiral Weld does, again, Ian mentioned when we were found, capabilities and the products that we have, we manufacture spirally welded steel pipe in 24-inch diameter up to 12 feet in diameter, so very large stuff, down to 1/8 wall and up to 1-inch thick wall. Again, and a whole host of different linings and coatings associated with that pipe. In Columbia, we also do very large steel pipe fabrications, and then we also manufacture additional pipe through straight seam processes. The applications that we serve, water transmission obviously is probably the biggest one, then wastewater systems, industrial pumping systems, and also just basic structural piling. This is actually the Columbia plant. It sits on 150 acres. As we've mentioned, it was a greenfield, started in 1999 and then actually commissioned in 2000. 243,000 square feet under roof. It's served by rail on both sides of the facility. We have the CSX to the north and NS to the south. Rail is very, very important to us in order to get our raw materials into the plant. I won't go through in detail, but when this plant was built in 2000, it was the premier state-of-the-art spiral weld plant in the country. The next, plant number 2, was built on what was the former Buick City property in Flint, Michigan. We have the 20 most northern acres on that property. It was a brownfield piece of property. We began construction in May of 2014, and we began making pipe in December, and in earnest in 2015. Smaller facility than Columbia. We streamlined it. It's very lean. The plant itself sits on 20 acres, and then we lease property just to the south in order to store pipe for our laydown yard. We'll jump to the project at hand now, and we refer to it as ASWP Plant 3. We have a phased approach to this project. Phase 1 will be the initial plant. We will have the capability, just like Columbia, of 24-inch up to 12 feet in diameter and up through 1-inch wall, X70 grade. Again, a whole series of linings and coatings that we will be able to apply to the pipe as we will phase in that capability. As part of Phase 3, then, we will begin to do fabrications here. That will be an additional building that will be put on this property. Again, as we've looked at several different sites, this was the first site that was proposed to us in Paris off of Highway 82. This is not necessarily what the final layout will look like. But again, it's important that the plant is rail served. And then as we progress, we will go through probably several different iterations. But again, we're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 250,000 square feet under roof. Phase 1, the initial employee headcount will be 55 to 60. There'll be an annual wage of $54,000, and of course, we offer as you can imagine with our legacy, we offer a full Cadillac benefits package. We expect that Phase 1 will be a $60 million capital outlay. Phase 2 is really to add a second shift in the plant. That will bring an additional 45 jobs, roughly. That would bring the total to 100 to 105. The average wage comes down a little bit at that point to $52,000, plus again, full benefits. Phase 3 will include plant fabrications, additional coating capabilities, some lining capabilities, non-destructive testing capabilities in X-ray, and we envision Phase 3 to be as much as a $20 million investment. Headcount for Phase 3 would add an additional 13 to 15 jobs, bringing the total somewhere near 120, with the average comp being $51,000 plus full benefits. I hope we stuck to our timing on this. In summary, as you can see, and I hope you got a feel for, American is a real value-based company, and we are looking for a community. I think Paris fits that bill. That is a value-based community as well. We are in the final stage of our site selection. I wish we were done. When we finish with this plant, as was Columbia in the day, this plant will be not only the most state-of-the-art plant in the United States, but the way we're going to build the plant and the equipment that's going to go into it, it will be the most state-of-the-art water pipe plant in the world. We're very excited about that. We're also very excited to be able to put 120 employees, if not to work, maybe upgrading where they're currently at. We are fast-tracking this project, and we are looking for starting this plant up, and this is a tight timetable at this point, but we are looking to start this plant up in the second quarter of 2019. And at this time, I guess we'll take any questions if there are any.
Anyone have any questions?
Well, I'd just like to thank Mr. Hook and Mr. Willoughby and Mr. Egan for having the vision to create such a place. We think Paris would be a great fit with a company like yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't be more impressed with your presentation and the type company that, you know, we would dream of having here. So thank you for the presentation. Anyone have any questions, though? Anything?
Very impressed and would love to welcome y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat and Ian, for this presentation. City Council, where we are at, we have become a finalist in the state of Texas, and there's also another site that they're reviewing right now in the state of Oklahoma. So what we are looking for tonight is review of this project. We wanted the presentation to take place so that we can officially approve the incentives, so that we will have that on the table and they were very secure with those incentives. We're hoping to know something rather soon in regards to their final decision, but we will begin the process, if they should choose to do so, to move forward with the Texas Enterprise Fund application, which is the deal closing fund with the state of Texas. So we can begin that process immediately if you approve these incentives tonight. What we are looking at, just for the sake of full disclosure to the public, we're looking at offering, acquiring a property where the old Superior Switch property is now, and we're going to take our property and that Superior Switch property and offer that as a forgivable loan to have that property and also to acquire that property within 10 years. But in that context, they can work at least debt-free, without debt service on that property. And that principal and interest would be forgiven as long as they maintain their construction and obviously maintain the jobs and things of that nature. So altogether, that's what he had stated earlier, about 100, almost a little over 100 acres. In that context, we're looking at a forgivable loan for about $500,000. For jobs, we will probably use that to help offset the rail costs, because Kyle-Michi will be building a rail spur out to that site as well. So in that context, we'll be making application for Texas Enterprise Fund. We're looking at a forgivable loan for jobs as well as forgivable loan on land in this incentive package. There's going to be some work that needs to be done on this property, and we'll be working with you, when I say we, the Paris Economic Development Corporation will be working with you to make sure that we're taking care of that property and getting it ready and up to speed as quickly as we can for American Spire World. But that's what we have on the table today that we'd like to present to you.
Okay, thank you.
Did I get that right, Pat? Good.
Okay, so we're needing to approve this resolution to, is this going to be the final resolution, or is this just the preliminary resolution? How will that?
This is a resolution to formally approve what the Paris Economic Development Council put before you, but it also does kick off where we can start the paperwork for the county and the city tax abatements, and also gives us approval to move forward with some of the work that needs to be done on the side as well. There may be an opportunity where we need to come back to you if it's above.
Clarify it a little, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone have any discussion on this? We have on the table here, they're wanting a motion to act on the resolution approving the economic incentive package that was presented for the Project Orange Fire. Any discussion on this? Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the economic incentive package for Project Orange Fire, or we can call them by name now, can't we?
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And even though Mr. Tornado was not here, he called me today and said he couldn't make it, but please let them know how much he supports the project. So I think we can count it as unanimous. All right.